Keep it pyro.
It's the Scope Show. Hashtag the Scope, innit? Okay, this is the part of the show we're gonna get into just chatting shit. Basically,
we only had 4 of those. Yeah, no bombs.
Oh, we've got 3 more left. All right,
yeah,
cool.
something like that.
But like just chatting. What you know? What? All right, let me just elaborate properly. What we do this part of the show, the last hour, is like speak to the artist. Instead of saying where are you from, well, how long have you been in the music game?
We
what
kind
you
of
been
already
doing?
did that.
With all that stuff, we're gonna make them get into debate and talk about everything what's going on and see their personal views, and find out if they are human or not. Innit?
This is the part where you say you're human, bro. He's on his
He's
phone.
a cyborg.
He's on his phone. He's out here.
Half and half, innit?
There you go.
Half yardie, half human.
Well done. Like,
I was about to ask him what kind of other half car, you get me? But yeah, all right, cool. So Terror wanted to talk about it. Let's just get this out of the way. Arsenal losing at the moment. Yeah.
All right,
I'm done. I'll talk about this in September.
All right, you Arsenal fan?
That's mad.
Absolutely.
You Arsenal fan? Yes.
That's what I've been saying. Talk to me next season.
In September.
All
Not
right,
even
so
August. Let's get August out of the way.
No, but come on, right now we have to report Arsenal losing. What? 1-0 to Leicester, down to 10 men. Who got sent off?
The new guy, Mavropanos.
And we was rating him last week.
No, I'm still rating him. I haven't seen it. You can't start.
No, I'm not gonna have
it.
it.
Yeah, go on.
Family, like, what go on for Arsenal? Like, now Wenger's gone. Are you happy that Wenger's gone, Yizzy?
Yeah.
What about you?
Was rapid. I'm like that.
Yeah, I'm like,
you know it was, yeah?
He announced it on 420. He said, fuck this, I'm going to Village. I'm gone.
He literally said, I'm going to Village.
I'm gone.
Yeah, that 420 must have been the latest 420 for Wenger still. But what I was going to say, like, you see, like, all the past couple of weeks, I don't want to talk about this, but anyway, see, like, past couple of weeks, everyone's been kind of saddened. I'm not sad.
Yeah,
like, I'm not disrespectful though. I'm not one of those disrespectful dons. Like, I respect everything he did up until about 2007.
That's a bit harsh.
No. Up until about 2007, up until about 2007, I respect it. But you see, like, since then, that's not really it for me again. Not gonna lie.
Mercy.
I'll say about till 2012. I think 20.
What,
are you gonna give him an extra 5 years?
Yeah, 2007 was a bit harsh, man. Like,
bruh.
Like, that's too close to the invincible thing. Like, hoping that some kind of recreation is gonna go on. It was never gonna happen. Like,
no, I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that. But I'm just saying, like, you see what it is, yeah. See, this is why we need to talk about this later. But anyway, what I'm saying is this, yeah. When you're like the guy. Wenger was the guy, yeah.
And Fergie was the guy. Wenger was the guy. Next to the guy.
Let me show you why. Obviously, Fergie is a guy, but
he's the best.
But we have to remember, yeah. We have to remember, yeah. Words out of Alex Ferguson's mouth, yeah, was whenever we played Arsenal, I had to switch everything. Like, that shows you a man's a guy as well, though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they can play against everyone else. When it's time to play against Wenger, you got to do a complete next thing. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, you was the guy. You was invincible. You're the only one with a gold trophy. United fans hate that to this day. Anyway, enough about that. Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say, like, you couldn't even. He ain't the closest he's been. I tell you what. See, when the season when Gallas was sitting on the floor in the middle of the pitch, he ain't got close since then. Not even nearly close.
Alright, let's wrap up this Arsenal thing quickly.
Yeah, quickly, get out of it.
What's the best moment of Wenger for you, Yizzy? Best moment of like when he's tenure or with Arsenal?
See what I mean?
I'll probably say a signing, but I'm trying to think of who he signed, and I thought, yeah. When he signed Ozil, because it was unexpected, last day of the transfer deadline, unexpected. I wouldn't say greatly needed. Defense has always been needed, and that's never been sorted. So now that he's kind of fucked off, we can get someone else. Especially if we get that Italian brother, because the Italians know how to defend. So I hope he just come in and fix that problem.
Massimo Allegri.
Yeah, Maximo Allegri.
Sorry.
But when he signed Ozil did the bit for that season still. He did. And the next season he did bits. And then from there the consistency just slightly went down. But when he was playing for us, we was doing well. I think either the season we signed him or the following season is when we won the FA Cup. And we broke the drought. So
True.
Must have helped somehow.
True. And I'm not going to bother ask you the worst, because
when he sold Thierry Henry for like 20 mil or something stupid.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
That was 2000. That was the part when the rating stopped. By the way,
do you know what?
That was 2007.
I'll tell you when I couldn't sleep and I had football. I'm not a football fanatic like that. When we got rid of Van Persie. That's when I was like, and we sold to Man United and they won the league.
You know what?
But that's not too much because he won the league with them. What else did he do after that? Nothing. He went to Fenerbahce to go die.
Still though, it hurt. We only had one of the season.
That's what happens. Like look at Nasri. We sold Nasri. He went to Man City, won the league, and after that, what's he been doing? A slow, painful death.
Yeah, he's
Realistically,
rubbing up them
what's he doing?
nurses and getting them, you know.
Do you know what it is? We sell our best players for cheap and we don't buy anyone in replacement. That's why he's done. Like, if you're gonna sell Thierry, don't sell him for 20, sell him for 80, because you know Barcelona got money in their pockets, and these times he's one of the top leading time all goal scorers of the league and the club, and you want to sell him for 20 mil.
I agree, because when Liverpool sell a player, they sell them like super duperly inflated.
What?
And
Like,
we don't.
What kind of good world class player can you buy for 20 mil?
In 2007, you could have bought somebody.
Look, I still think that's ridiculously
No.
cheap.
It's not. You could have got more money, but in 2007, now I don't even know if you can buy I don't think you can buy a kit man for 20 mil. Do you get what I'm saying?
You can't buy a Yizzy.
Do you get what I'm saying?
The crepes.
Get me,
20
but
mil won't
anyway.
even get you a Troy Deeney. It's that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on for this Arsenal
Yeah,
debate.
I could have
It's
said
all right
so
now.
much. I just ducked out.
We do a Premier League August and September special. Don't worry.
Something like that.
Yeah,
something
we'll
like
do
that.
that. We'll do that.
There was another guest that was supposed to be here as a Man United supporter, but yeah, we'll let him slide until next month. Anyway.
Yeah, we get him.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So double backing all the way back to the music. Your project SOS is out now. We played the track a little while ago, and you said some stuff on that record that really resonated with me about every genre that pops being called grime. Everyone's silent.
Yes.
Do you wanna elaborate a bit more on that? Now the music stopped. Or just not even elaborate. Just let us know your feelings about a bit more about that. And I want to know yours as well, because you've been
About
here from
what?
since he was part of the foundation, the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
What was it? Feelings about what? How?
About just everything that pops is being labelled grime. Because I'll say this, like, yeah, we're being invaded. I'll say this now, like, that's kind of he made it.
Oh, wow.
He made it. You just missed the football now.
Yes.
It's probably good that we're not talking about football anymore.
Yes.
It's probably good. Like, do you wanna just give him your microphone and we'll share this one?
Yeah, go on.
We was just talking about football. We're glad you missed that bit because we're all Arsenal fans. So we're done with that.
Sorry to
Alright,
hear,
listen, I want to welcome Skribz to the show. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What's your excuse for the timekeeping, bruv?
I
No, I'm
feel-
joking.
oh,
We know.
sorry.
I'm rapping.
Yes.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Alright, yeah, cool. So the topic that we're talking about right now, just quickly, just to fill you in because you just reached, is introduce yourself, brother. I'm not actually familiar.
Yeah, Smokes.
Smokes.
I got a podcast called DMD Podcast.
Oh,
so,
shame. Yeah, you know what? I listened to you, but I I recognise my man. But yeah, okay, yeah. Big up Smokes as well.
They're gonna murder us.
No, it's not that. It's not. Oh, you're one of the. Oh, okay. We'll get there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to have this conversation about grime and like you lot are just messing up my flow. So yeah, it seems that everything that pops is being labelled grime right now. And on Yizzy's project SOS, he addressed that quite well for me because I just feel like people that don't really know or make the music are the ones that market it. Whether you agree with me on that, that's another thing. And they just throw everything into a basket and it discredits a lot of, this is my personal feeling, it discredits a lot of the hard work that a lot of people do. And just, I don't know, it allows people to dick ride like the trend, and then as soon as things start looking a bit rosy on the other side, they're off.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then this man that are you know, like deep foundation in this thing, they have to pick this thing back up again and then get it back to where it's coming. And as soon as it comes right round, then it will pop again. Here we are again with the rider. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go on then. This the opinionated one.
No. I was just gonna say, I feel like that's just normal for business. Like I feel like when your business grows, the little people get stampled on, and that's just like grime, fam. I feel like the people that the foundations, once you want it to go to a wide audience and the Amy's and the Claires and Essex and all of that, like they don't care about the man them. And that's who we're trying to market to. So we can't. It's either we want them to listen to our music or we want them to hear about our cries and what we care about. They don't care about that, so we're gonna have to compromise, and that's where we're at, fam.
I hear you, but I don't know. Terry, you're on your phone. Come out your phone, man.
Come on, man.
Come out your phone, man. Oh, he's just blasting. I hear you, yeah, but I don't really see that happening to any other music though. So if it's just business,
Hip hop.
hip hop, what?
I feel like hip hop, like when hip hop was coming up, you had those rappers that were like, that's not real hip hop, that is real hip hop. These new rappers, these mumble rappers, and there's always a conflict within the culture. The new grows and the old are like, nah, we don't like that. And it's just part of evolution. And I feel like that's because hip hop and grime are one of the two things, like one of the two massive brands in life that we've seen grow from the start. So we're seeing the growing pains. With everything else, when it's presented to us, we see the final package. We've seen grime and hip hop grow from the start. So it's like we're more tied to it emotionally, and we see all the growing pains, and that's just it.
But then on another side of things, yeah, I'll say this: like, why can't people from this country just say they're hip hop artists?
because
like what's up? Because this is kind of my point. Like, sorry to cut you off, but this is my point. Like, why don't people just do that?
Ego.
Why are people shook to just say this is what I am? Because a grime MC will look you in his face and believe it and tell you I'm a grime MC. So why can't the rappers, the people that don't want to do grime, literally bust off that? Did you get what I'm saying? Or no?
It's not ours, man.
It's because they're scared that.
Go on, speak up.
They're scared that if they label themselves as something in the media and it goes out in like publications, that when it comes time they want to do something else, they're gonna receive a backlash. Because 5 years ago, or whatever, you said I'm a hip hop artist, but now you want to be switching up and doing R&B soul like Bryson. Like, all of a sudden you're gonna get that backlash of, oh, I thought you was a hip hop artist, but now what, you're switching up. Everybody got their own mood changes and times change, and people learn new stuff, you like new trends, whatever. So that's why people don't want to step out. Us spending grime, we don't give a shit. We just step out and say we're grime.
You know what the truth is? I'll tell you what the truth is. It's marketing. Yeah? It's record labels went, whoa, if we say you're hip hop, we can't sell you to the kids that don't know. So if we say it's grime, it's new urban. No, I understand what you're saying.
But it's 2018. Most of the people put out a tune, it will blow up, get millions of views, and then the labels come calling. But these times, a lot of people, they think, oh, you know what, my platform's popping, I don't need you and your label. I'm just gonna do me anyway. So most of the time now, labels ain't even involved a lot. Like, say, back when it was harder to make a platform and put your music out there. Now it's a social media generation. You can put out whatever you want.
I agree with you, but still, it's not like the labels. It's like, instead of saying urban, let's just call it grime and done. So everything now, if you don't know what grime is, then it's like, it's a blur line. It's like what grime really is, people don't even know what it is now, because that's then the market in the PR stunt. But I agree with you.
But then if you start talking about what's urban, people start, like, they will stuttering and what is urban? But realistically, if you're black and you're spitting, you're urban.
You're grime as well.
Yeah.
But do you think
that's a race issue?
Grime was more of a UK trying to stand out and be different from America. Have our own.
When I think of hip hop, I think of
Snips. What do you think? What do you think? You're posing the question. What do you think? And say it with your chest. Say it with your chest as well.
No, personally, if you're gonna ask that question, and I feel like as UK, we always want to stand out and be different, because when it comes to America, we're always competing with America, if that makes sense. Like, people always putting us against America. So when it comes to, even though people are doing hip hop, when you're in the UK, you want to be known for something from the UK, if that makes sense. Because if you say hip hop, people would automatically look at, okay, America first, and then look at the trickling down. Okay, you're trying to do this. Do you get what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I feel like the grime everyone just tried to be unique. London was a unique thing that was coming through, started. And then
because you know what, you know what? Grime is definitely way gone past like London and all of that. It's mad. Like, it's definitely a UK sound. It's gone past London. Like, everyone's trying to do grime. Like, I was working with Brisky Rhodes a lot, and he's got a platform where a lot of people from like Russia were sending in mad freestyles. People from Australia, people from this, like, enough people from all over the world. So grime, in that aspect, is definitely grime. And one thing that I want to say is that, like, I think creative people kind of need to, in one aspect, stay away from boundaries, because like Yizzy was saying earlier, if you're doing grime and then you change over, you start doing hip hop. I feel like if you like, not, I suppose I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but I feel like if you're an MC and you know how to spit on grime, because there are rappers that don't know how to spit on grime, very good rappers that don't know how to spit on grime. If you're a grime MC and you can do this thing, and you're a grime MC and you're making grime music, cool. The moment you step out of your box, to me, you just become an artist. And at that point, you do whatever the hell it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Amen.
But the problem that I've got is when someone that I know, if I put on, like, turn up this rhythm now, or put on Eskimo, put on the baitest instrumental right now and say go, we're all just going to be looking at each other like, okay, when's this going to finish? Like, do you get what I'm saying? I'll be labelled as grime and blah, 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 blah. But moving swiftly on, one thing that I was going to say, because like, this is our first show, so we kind of got a lot to catch up on. Like, I'll ask everybody in the room how they feel about just, even though it seems like I'm whinging and complaining, I don't like being negative, so I need to switch this, about the state of UK music, like, in 2018. Like, are we happy? Are we sad?
Everybody rates everyone, but nobody want to publicly rate no one. Everybody says, yeah, I'm your bro, I'm supporting you, whatnot, but behind doors, you happily
If I had sound effects right now, I'd be pumping them.
Behind closed doors.
Do you know what? I forgot my Serato box today. Sorry, fam. Go.
Behind closed doors, you're happily going to sneak this a man, because you're focusing on your thing. And you always got your watchful eye on next man, because if they start doing better than you, you got to push and up your game And these times you're thinking, bro, why is he doing better than me? Like, they're moving proper red eye and everything. But these times, 2 months ago, oh, that was my bro supporting the new tune out. Yeah. Excellent, real tear. And do you know what it is? I feel like the things that are popping right now is drill music, the Afro swing music. Everyone in those kind of things promotes each other and push each other. You got people linking up and doing remixes, blah, 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 blah. That ain't really happening in grime. If you're the top boys, you're linking up. If you're not, then you're not. You're doing your own thing. You're like, too much competition. I need to stay in my lane and alienate myself from everybody else and just go. But what you don't realize is when you look at, say, the American market and the people that have made their platforms and foundations from early, like your Death Row Records, like your Jay-Z's, like your Diddy's, that have built up their own platforms from scratch. Who in the UK, other than Close, I say Disturb in London, with Tiny, has built up their own label or their own platform to the level of a major. In America, you've got people building up labels like flipping Death Row Records that are rivaling, to an extent, people like Warner and Universal and Sony. That's never happened in the UK, and we're so far away from that. Why? Because no one want to work together to build nothing. Everyone wants their own thing and don't want to link up or help. They're just too scared.
But on the flip side of that, look how Death Row ended, and look how all of these labels ended.
He came with the nuclear bomb for that one. He was like, yo bro, slow down. No, but you know what, right? Because it's funny. I was in LA a couple weeks ago, probably even a month ago now, and I was chatting to Dreddy. He's a UK producer. He's moved out there. He's doing big things. He's on he's got a fire record, probably the best record on Royce 5'9's thing now. So big up Dreddy. That's my brother from another. We had exactly the same conversation. And one thing that I would say, it's like a double-edged sword, because you see that I need to do better than next man, yeah? That creates competition, and it makes people raise their levels, to a degree. So in that aspect, I'm all for it. Like, we're from an era where people walked into the microphone and they weren't interested in popping. They wanted to be the best right there, that moment. And I love that. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's like, now people can really pop and not be good. Like, I'll say it as it is. That jars the life out of me.
I disagree. Again,
disagree with
what?
You
know why? About people busting, and no, do you know why?
No, let's talk street shop, man.
Let me say why. Because I feel like sometimes we focus too much on what we like, and we think we're everything. If we don't like it, it must be trash. We need to understand that people like who sang that song? Who's it? What's his name again? The guy that sang. You don't even remember, do you? The guy who sang that song? Barking.
Rams.
Rams.
Man like Rams, he has an audience. There are people that actually like his music, and whether you respect it or not.
Hold on to your point. People like that song. He could walk down the high street. I swear he even still gets on the train now. People, it's not really that. But whereas another artist doesn't have a different thing, and it's like with a person like Rams in London. I think he could leave London and no one will know who he is. Maybe in London people might. I think so. I
feel like them channel you.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm telling you what I think.
You know what? But saying that, my 3-year-old son sings that song all the time. So there you go.
We're old heads, you know. I feel like we need to accept. It's the same with 6ix9ine. Like, we don't appreciate it because it's not our generation. Like, I feel like he's not for us. Rams is not for us. He's not trying to be a road man. He's not trying to like compete with like drill rappers. He's in his own lane, jumping into videos and just singing his heart out. And we might just need to be like, all right, cool, you enjoy that. That's you, fam. And stop looking, because it's not competition.
Yeah, why do we put pressure on these artists? Why do we put pressure on these artists to be a certain way when they're being themselves? Shouldn't we encourage them to just be themselves and make what they want?
But the reason Rams was getting hate is because the brother can't sing.
Neither can half the people singing.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. Good. That's why it's people that are busting but aren't actually good. That's just who's got the best engineer that can make their vocals sound. And
the producers and engineers aren't getting enough credit. They're the real artists. They need to be getting the platinum plaques. Like, they're the real artists. Easily. Like, these artists are just people with an internet.
So one thing that I'm gonna agree with, I'm not sure who said it, so I don't know quote, but we are definitely far behind America, because in America they've got I believe it's the ASCAP Awards, where it's literally artists, you can take a seat. This is writers, producers, etc. And they literally celebrate it all. And fair enough, I make you right, but my thing is this, like being a DJ, playing in all different clubs, like I could be like Funkmaster Flex and just play what I like, and the rave might not go ham. Sometimes I might have to play a record that will never see the light of day in my car. Like, sometimes I might have to do it, but the thing that I've learned is it's all about energy. Like, it's literally all about energy. And when you can see, like, for example, I'll tell you straight, man's not hot, the first time I picked up my phone and saw it being played in a rave, I said, what have we come to? What is this? No one didn't play the RS thing in a rave. But you know, when I went to a couple raves and I saw what this thing was doing, I had to get behind it. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? And like, I have to embrace it, but it's all energy. Like, he's got his hand up. Like, I haven't seen that since school. I haven't seen that shit since school.
Podcast practice.
Go.
Just say this quickly before Skribz goes in. I was in Miami in December in King of Diamonds, and that went off. When I
Does everyone know what King of Diamonds is? Anyway, carry on.
When the strippers went, like when that tune come on, the strippers went up. Everyone was going absolutely mad in there. I said, oh, like that was the first time I saw that track being played in a club as well, and I was like, yeah, it's mad. It was mad.
Yeah, I got two. One quick point is that it's about time I see some black man having some fun and making it. Because man's been watching fucking artists do it from Ali G to what's my man's name? Ring ding ding, not ring ding ding.
PSY. Yeah, go on.
But like all of these man doing things and they're going viral and that. It's about time one of the man them come through and do that. So I'm happy seeing that. But another thing, I think UK music is doing great. I love UK music. I feel like it's in a place where I can actually spend a whole day listening to UK artists and not listen to American artists. I feel like there's only certain American artists that make it for me, and I feel like we're in too much of a hurry. We need to understand that we started grime way after hip hop. So if you look at where hip hop started, that's like 20 years ahead of grime. And I would say if you look at grime, it's basically following in the same footsteps. Like it's going through the little stages that hip hop went through, and it's becoming bigger and it's growing and it's going to grow. But it's just gonna take time, innit?
But if you come back to Yizzy's point, I don't think it's necessarily all the way following, because come on now, by now hip hop had a label, like a hip hop label. Hip hop had one. Like, I'm not trying to shoot no shots, but I don't need as much as you can give credit to Disturbing London. That ain't no grime label.
I'll say Boy Better Know.
I don't even think.
Boy Better
Know's really out here.
Yeah, but
if it's not within the circle, then it's not them. Like, it's literally just for them. Like, that's not really.
So you're saying like getting different artists from different places, and
like
that's
who's really trying to blow
That's
things.
just a circle for them, man, to put out their music on. It's not a platform to build upon for the UK. That's just for them,
you
man.
need to understand though, in America you can like tour one state and make $1 million.
Of course,
England,
yeah.
In London, like it's really a struggle. Like you really might back up with next man on the circle line. It really is. Everyone's local.
Yeah, but can I just sorry to interject? I'm getting mad here, innit? Sorry, I know what's the mic. I just want to, just before you say what you're about to say, but there's this. What I'm trying to say is this music that we're doing here isn't just here. Like, how many countries have you been to?
Yeah.
Like for music, like okay, let's talk to this guy.
Look, right. UK is like one state. We got Europe, right?
Amazing.
London slightly runs the music game in some aspects, not every aspect, but when I was doing the most, I remember like coming home. I never stayed home 1 week. Weekends, I never saw weekends. I was in Russia 1 week, Japan the next week, China, like Australia, then this place, and I'm like everyone's going, "Oh, you still doing music, bro?" I'm like, I'm making the most, fam. And I'm saying, and I'm with Canada is when I open my eyes. All the man them are getting played, not just in the race, but when I'm getting picked up by the promoters, they're playing us, man. And I'm saying to man them, that's how I said to Champion, look, you need to hurry up because man are gonna lick off your style because you're running. So I kind of put him on to where he's now making, and then let's not say about money, but he's making more money than me. But what I'm saying is, like we gotta treat UK like a state. And I think like what you said, everyone's got the right point. We all got to link up. Even if we don't like each other personally, it's business, bro. And in the day, when I first come in this thing, in Music House, that was at our youth centre. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had Soul Solid in there, you had Northman in there, that's how I met everyone. And you couldn't cause no trouble because everyone was hungry. Now, money's been made. Everyone's going, I want to hold it to myself. I'm not letting them go. But I think we all need to start to link together. Even if you don't want to do music with them, help them with other things.
But don't you sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a bashment man, yeah.
Same here.
I follow the UK music and all of that, but I listen to my bashment.
That's all I play in my car.
But what I'm looking at, I feel like we are more united today than we was back in the day. Because if you think about back in the day in the grime scene, Eastman would be on the Eastman thing over there. Southman would do what South doing, North's doing what North's doing, and Northwest would have. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you're seeing the link ups between South and North. Or certain, do you get what I'm saying? They're doing a lot more music together than they did back in the day.
I disagree.
You know why? Because again, we said Music House,
I'm
yeah.
seeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing. The reason why I'm saying that because back in the day. When I had to go to South London to them raves, yeah, and then was MCing with them mams. I'm rolling with, when I was in Nasty Crew, yeah.
Okay,
Like when man needs to go to all different areas, Music House, like I said, you couldn't like cause no headache because you had to meet up everyone there. Radio is another thing, like Deja. Yeah, you had Deja. Obviously in South you had On Top. You know what I mean? Then in Northwest you had Freeze. Then times everyone was more linking together because no one knew the possibilities. Nowadays it's more segregated now.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I had to chat to people back in the day, it was like, what? I got this man on the show. Are you cool? Yeah. Nowadays, like, boy, I got my nah, cuz nah. You know what? My man tried it. You know. And there's too much of that now going on, and it's like a thing. I've got to sort of say to certain man, drop it. But certain time when you hear the politics, I'm like, this is long, man. How are you gonna sort this out? But yeah.
Do you know what? I feel like I feel like as artists we expect too much from each other, and as people in the industry we expect, because at the end of the day, like, this guy doesn't know this guy, expecting them to come together and work together just because they're from the same place and making the same music doesn't make sense to me personally. If we want a genuine, like, if we're gonna act like Team UK and act like everyone's cool, we can do that. But realistically, with a bunch of strangers, it's going to be hard to get everyone to work together. I feel like people need to start focusing more on the fans and the supporters. I feel like all this time we're talking about the scene blocking up. Bro, when you put out music, no one's stopping the supporters from gravitating towards it. We've got Spotify now, we've got like loads of different SoundCloud, we've got platforms where you can put your music out. And people are selling out shows, and you don't even know who they are because they got their fan base. And I feel like people need to start doing that instead of expecting the scene to catapult them into Stormzy kind of level fame. You get what I'm saying? Everyone's got to put in the grind, fam. And people are too entitled nowadays. That's what I feel like, anyway.
Oh yeah. People definitely feel like they're old something.
A lot of too much entitlement.
I'm not gonna say.
No. Let's not.
Bear man move like the scene, like whether you're older generation, you move like you're old something, like you're expected to just have this.
And that's nothing. And in that whole attitude, you've disregarded all of the fans and the people that are supposed to actually say, "Yo, you're the best," because you think, "Oh yeah, I'm cold," and man should put like respect on my name. That's trash. Absolute trash. Absolute trash, man.
Well said. But yeah, so coming back to the question, like, so we feel like, apart from being segregated, it's in a good space. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in a good space. Yeah. Very good space.
Best music I've heard from the UK. By the way, he's from the scene. I like it.
Do you know what it is? I'll say one thing. I feel like UK is still lyrical. We're still using, like, there is a few tracks that's going out now. Like,
I'm not in no mumble shit.
We got Jesse James.
We're doing good.
We still got lyrical guys. Like,
I think it's widely said that, like, in the UK we're still spitting.
Yes.
Like, we still actually care about. I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like the wave has caught over here. Like, for example, Barking might not be mumble, but that's a wave. Come on now, that is one of those melodies. Like, that's almost like an Akon song. The melody's just in your head. Like, your kids, they love it. Blah 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 blah. But I feel like I just feel like we are definitely still spitting here. So we can go all over the world now and take this and make this thing bigger and blah blah.
We've got real talent here, fam. You just gotta look for it. That's what it is. Everyone's expecting GRM Daily and Link Up TV to do the work for them, so they can click on it and be like, "Oh, there's the best artist." But fam, these men are on SoundCloud, they're on Spotify, they're somewhere on Twitter with like 100,000 followers and you've never heard of them. Like, these men are really out here. It's just that you've got to actually look for them and find them. And like, you've got man like Jesse James, Coltrane. Like, there's actually man out here that make Octavian. Fam, like, there's man out here that are really cold. You know what I'm saying? It's just that if you want to focus on the Ramses and all of that, you can focus on that. If you want to go and look for good music, then you can find good music. That's it, man.
Alright, cool.
I feel like to say the UK is doing well is kind of like a broad statement. I think like the next kind of 10-15 years will kind of you'll see what happens, because when you deep it, social media and everything and the internet's only been around for what, like 15-20 years, if that. So I feel like certain genres are bare overpopulated and it's only going to get even more. So I think that's just going to get loads of people lost in the mix. And I think if you're that's when people who are actually talented will step through, because
always happens.
Specifically because labels are going to look, but because 25 man sound the same, they're going to look, you know what, not even for the sound, who's just different, and then let's see what we can do out of that. And that's when I think people that are actually talented are going to break through in all genres, because I think right now it's just getting too overpopulated. You got a man saying you sound like you sound like this, and I'm like, well, this is only starting, this is just going to get worse.
It's true.
No, for real. What was I going to say? Alright, cool. Another thing about 2018, yeah, like, and as a lyricist, you have to like literally overthink writing your bars now, because it seems like people get outraged for absolutely everything. Like, has that affected your lyrics?
No.
Man don't care.
Man from the real world, fam. Forget Twitter, fam.
No, but seriously, what's going on with this fake outrage? Seriously though, like, what, like, literally, has anybody been, like, come on, be honest, has anybody literally had to do that thing where they type in the @ and then like write their name there?
Yeah, me, I've deleted bettings.
Oh, so you was actually guilty?
I've deleted bettings.
You've actually guilty? But if you don't care about in your lyrics, why have you done it in your Twitter?
No, because people from Filthy Fellas will come and be like, Skribz, you know, you can't say that, blah, blah, brands, etc, etc. Me personally, I know what I tweet where it comes from. So I know that everything I say comes from a good place. Unless I'm trolling, and if I'm trolling, it's not that deep. Man can have fun, bro. Like when
Arsenal fans.
when Dave Chappelle's on Netflix cussing transgender people and the transgender community is outraged and everyone's like, oh, it don't matter, he's always been like that. Why can you understand that and that he's just making a joke and then it's a bit of banter? But when it comes to things that you care about, everyone needs to be sensitive. Everyone's just selfish, and that's what it is. They complain about what they feel marginalized for, and that's it. And it's just loud as well. Twitter's just loud. In the real world, no one cares. We're like, what, 3%? 500,000 black women in London or something like that. Like, really and truly, no matter how much we all get together and complain about, no one cares. People are saying nigger in the wood pile in the parliament.
Yeah, but you say that though, but like, people are losing jobs, fam.
Who?
Like, look at...
Only when you cuss a Jewish person, you lose a job.
Yeah,
Other than that, who's cussed a black person lost a job? People are still in parliament after saying the N-word.
Yeah, but this is probably the part where I start talking about it not being fair. Like,
It's not fair.
I'm not. Listen, at this moment I haven't even cast my opinion. I'm just saying it just seems like right now people want to go mad for everything. Like, if you post a picture of your breakfast and your breakfast is not got a certain filter on it, you just might lose your job the next. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm putting it to you guys, man.
I don't know if I should say what happened to me the other day.
Say it.
For your own head.
I don't care, fam. Well, look, I put a thing. Listen, if a mouse is in your house, what are you gonna do?
Kill it.
I put a post of a mouse, yeah, and the yard man, it was a joke, slapping at the mouse, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw that.
Man, people said I'm a dickhead to that, and I was like, so what? Are you either vegan?
I feel like I saw
or
that.
are you a fan of? Or what's the matter?
What, the mouse
And-
strip up like this?
Yeah, and it's just slapping it down.
He's slapping it with a plant in.
Or something like that. It looked like a plant. And then everyone's on my timeline going,
He pinned up the mouse.
he pinged at the mouse and whatever I don't know what he done, but
I've seen that video, but you know what it is? That's not even because it's a mouse. That's like borderline in torture. Imagine if a brother's pinned up on. If you're gonna kill a mouse, whatever. No one will give a shit. But if you're gonna pin it up on the wall, that means you got time to sit down and plan some next way.
Honestly,
dealing with the mouse.
Honestly, I didn't know it was pinned. I thought it was just tied to the thing. I weren't really thinking. Yeah,
I mean, who ties up a mouse?
Yeah, but it's a mouse,
Who
man.
cares, man?
He said, "Rat him a catch, you know." You know what I mean? He's only like. People said to me, "Animal Cruelty." I'm like, do you know what? The next video I know, I looked at my Instagram. The thing got removed by Instagram. But yeah,
Do you know so much? See some of the same people that are complaining about animal cruelty. You see when they watch videos of black man getting shot by police, they're like, oh, you should have complied. So big man.
Listen.
Like, at the end of the day, people need to. Their priorities are trash.
Wait. One time I say,
Priorities are
well,
trash.
if you're like they're like that, don't wear no leather. So no leathers in your whip.
This
Don't
is
have
what
no
I'm
crepes.
saying.
Don't have nothing in your animal. I don't want to see you though. Don't have no milk, no eggs, nothing. You better be vegan.
Consistency is impossible.
No
for this
plastic
trash.
either. Then come on, let's go there. So don't even go in there like, oh, animal cruelty. Then you have animal things you're aware. Anyway, Chuck.
Bro, that's the realest talk.
Talking about outrage, yeah. Who was outraged last week? Is it last week or the week before? No, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I missed that one. I didn't
Was you outraged when you heard my man say, and I just quote,
Yeah, bro.
Slavery was a choice.
sounds like he said slavery sounds like a choice.
Yeah.
I think is that word
400 years. That sounds like a choice
Yes,
to
that's
me.
it. 400 years sounds like a choice to me.
I wouldn't say I was outraged because my general consensus, like, of the type of person he is just dickhead. Like, every time I see a post, in my head, I'm just like dickhead, and then just go from there. Really, so I'm quite relaxed. I've seen both sides of the argument from different people. I feel like he kind of realized he fucked up when he said it, even if he would never admit it. He didn't mean for it to come out like that. I don't think no one's that just ignorant. No matter how ignorant he's publicly shown to be. I think I'm not even gonna try and kind of understand where he was coming from, but I feel like he was wrong for what he said. If he was trying to word it in a way where it was like there was no way to fight back against slavery if you was a slave, then that's a different type of thing. But when he's saying it's a choice, that's kind of fucked, because it was either like get caught on whatever, and then you had other slaves and then when they were slaves they were catching other blacks as well and whatnot, just to avoid the inevitable and shit like that. So what part of all that is a choice? Because you're just delaying the inevitable. No. So for me it was like one way or another there was like slavery was gonna be there. Like you can try fight back or whatever, but you know what, like you weren't back in them times. Have you ever started a fucking revolution? No. So how can you chat about choice? And then at the same time I just think he's a dickhead.
To sum it all up, like real quick, Smokes, what's your yeah, we're skipping you.
Skribz last.
Yeah.
Skribz comes to body, that's why.
Yeah.
You know what it is? My point now, see,
Spit it out, go for it.
Before, I could only start on before that, innit? Like, if we're gonna talk about the 400 years of slavery stuff, number one, yeah, he definitely he knew he fucked up straight away, because it's like he said it and then he hesitated. He's like, damn, boom, and then he said what he said after. Cool. Obviously, he's brought it from the beginning to the end. I think what he was trying to say, what he should have said, was how are we still enslaved mentally now?
Yeah.
That's what he should have said.
Yeah.
No, he did. He said it after.
When he got asked the question, he said mental slavery the second time.
So obviously that's what he should have said the first time.
You can tell I've analysed this, right?
No, because obviously it's clickbait. So they're only gonna take what he said first of all, then that. So if he articulated it straight away, he might have been alright, innit? And I get what he was saying, that we're mentally enslaved right now, because with all the tools that we have, the information, like our ideas and that, we shouldn't still be controlled by. Like, we can create our own platforms. We've got podcasts, we've got radio, we've got music, we've got all these things that can take us out of our own box. When you look at it, they're always looking at us to start trends, and they take the trends from us. Do you get what I'm saying? We will start a music revolution, and then boom.
I was going to say that when he said start a revolution. I was about to say
but at the same time, it is still very hard to see a black person or a person of color or a minority in a position of authority or power.
This is and you know what? I'm going to go back on a little bit on the first interview. Now, I feel like everybody went into the Charlemagne interview wrong. I feel like 90% of people that
but
went
how
into...
are you supposed to go into the interview? How are you supposed to go into it?
Open-minded.
Let me tell you how I believe most people went into it. Yeah? He's put out the tweets about Donald Trump, innit?
Yeah.
He's put out the hat and all of that. So now, initially, everybody's reaction is like, his interview's coming out. What's he gonna say about the tweets and Donald Trump? I want to hear that, and then disregard everything else that he said, because everything else that he said made sense. Now, I didn't really want to focus on the Trump and all of that, but if you think about what he's talking about in the music scene, in the real estate scene, in the fashion scene, he's talking about getting information. All he needs is information. So he's gone into interning at all these fashion places, at the top places.
Kanye West.
Being Kanye West. No, he did. He interned at these places.
Okay.
Being Kanye West to gain information on how to control certain things. Obviously, Nike didn't give him his royalties.
Let me ask you a question. Do you reckon he went and got tea?
Huh?
Do you believe he went and got tea? That's what an intern would do, innit?
No,
Interns are the
no.
Yeah, carry on.
He's on, man. I don't think he was doing that. But
okay, cool.
Obviously, he was being around the top people and gaining information. He's doing the same in real estate. Hence why he's got how many acres to build up his little community, all of this. Now, when he's gone into this Donald Trump, he's got this picture with Donald Trump or whatever. No one's asking the question on what he's really talking about. Everyone just jumped to conclusions, and there was bare outrage of him having a picture with Donald Trump, but no one's actually asking what did he go in there and talk about. Now, if he said that he spoke about the Chicago thing. Now, if he's gone in there and spoken about Chicago, I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you get what I'm saying? He's gone in there, he's spoken about his city. Probably gone in there knowing nothing's gonna change, nothing's gonna happen. Now, this is my opinion. Yeah. So I think, from looking at all of his trends through the music, through the fashion, through the real estate, through the art, all of that, he's gone everywhere and gained information to do what he's doing, so he can build his own brand and all of that. Try gain financial generational wealth and get financial empowerment. All of that, cool. Now he's gone. Now, how many years ago did Kanye say he wanted to be president?
Is it 2 years now? How long's Trump been in power? Before Trump even got elected?
Yeah, it was way before Trump. I think
cool.
it was in the Obama era. So he's like, yo, boom, I'm going to be president. Everyone laughed at him. Boom, boom, boom. Now he's gone to this Donald Trump thing. Now, I don't know. This is what I believe. This is what I hope has happened.
He used the word hope.
Yeah.
Go.
He's gone in there and he's trying to get information off a guy that he knows is racist, has sexually abused girls, has done all these things and been real, become president off being real. Like, he's thinking, raw, how did my man do that? Like, you've just come off Apprentice the other day. You've come through this thing as a joke. Because, like, let's be honest, he probably done this as a joke, as banter, to go through. Let me be as honest as I can be free.
Have you seen the Trump television interview in, like, the 90s? When he actually says, if I wanted to run, and he's running joke.
Yeah,
anyway, carry
I see
on.
it. So, obviously, he's seen all of that. So, I feel like Kanye's probably around him, gaining information, trying to see what his mind's like. Going in there talking about Chicago, knowing no information is going to get done, nothing's going to get done for Chicago, boom, boom, boom. And then maybe 5 years down the line, we're probably going to see Kanye go for presidency. Not saying that he's going to get it, but he's probably going to run for it.
It's less about...
I don't know. That's,
but it's not just Kanye though.
This guy's going to explode if I don't talk.
He's going to go mad.
It's the public as well, because you know what it is? Everyone's on this thing of fuck Donald Trump. And fuck Donald Trump. But what is just repeatedly fuck Donald Trump gonna do? So
He landed.
So people have just seen him with Donald Trump and they've gone like, fuck Donald Trump and association, fuck you too. But what's that gonna do? Like, my man is one of the most powerful people in the world. Your opinion of fuck you, no matter if it's every single person in the world, that still ain't gonna change shit. So my man's gone in there with a, okay, you know what, secretly fuck you, but let's try to sort some shit.
That's what I believe as well.
Go.
No, listen, fam. What I don't understand, because I didn't get to speak about this on the podcast, it's the first time. If we understand what Kanye was saying, how can we still be outraged? Firstly, that doesn't make any sense to me. So once I understand what you're saying, I know you might have said something a bit wrong. I'm a guy. I can't have people like that around me. Even if you had a girlfriend before and you say like a long thing and then she picks on one thing that might have offended her and she focuses on that,
and that's all that matters.
That is annoying.
We've all been there.
So I can't do that on social media. I can't do that with another man. I can't do it. If I understand what you're trying to say, I'll fuck with it. And with the all the Twitter outrage, everyone's just angry on there, so they're just complaining anyway. So I waited to watch the Kanye West thing to be like, all right, cool. Let me hear what he really said, because everyone was saying 400 years must be a blah blah blah. And I was like, let me hear what he really thinks. I was thinking this is trash. Then I watched it. Firstly, slavery wasn't for 400 years, so it doesn't even make any sense anyway. And if he's talking about 400 years, that means it's going to end next year. So what he would be saying is that we are still mentally enslaved. So it would be, we were slaves and in shackles for 200 something years, and now for the last 200 years, we're actually mentally enslaved. And he went on to explain that by saying he's talking about slavery in the mind. And he also said he doesn't want you to think about black slaves, and he doesn't want you to think about the Holocaust. So he's basically set out disclaimers for absolutely everything that you're cussing him about, and saying, I don't mean this stuff, but you're still here saying, oh, but you said it though. But we're humans. I might be entitled to say something wrong when I'm speaking passionately. It happens. We all say like something comes to our heads quickly and blah blah blah. But the ironic thing is the outcry against Kanye West is exactly what he was complaining about. Exactly what he went in TMZ
Complaining about or going for.
No.
That's a good question there, you know.
No, complaining about, because the LiPo was an outcry. When he was talking about the LiPo, he was crying. He was like, it's you lot's fault for making me feel like shit. That was his own little personal problem.
Go on. I think he's insecure. You know,
of course he's insecure.
You know, one more thing as well.
He's a human being, cuz.
That one clip there, yeah. They grabbed that one clip, but you see when he was talking about police killing off a black man, we got hashtags and we doing marches, but
that's too progressive for them.
All black on black crime in Chicago, 700 people a month dying or whatever in Chicago, but no one makes a big outcry. Like, they probably are doing marches, but it's not widely spread across that. Do you get what I'm saying? We should be more focusing on fixing ourselves, because let's be honest, from slavery's days, they've been killing us. And the police officers now are just slave masters in uniform. That are just killing.
Wow.
This
is going to sound so trash. What I'm going to say is going to sound so trash. Firstly, we need to stop looking at black people through the white person's eyes, because all I'm hearing is, oh yeah, you're making black people look bad. To who? Who are you trying to impress? Because if we're all like being ourselves, we can say what we want. What you do is not going to affect my life. You get what I'm saying? In real life, like, let's forget the internet and whatever. In real life, what you do is not going to affect my life. If you do certain things and that, maybe I've seen it and I can get inspired. But we're all accountable for our own shit. So stop trying to blame all these people that we put up in lights and say, you should be perfect, because no one's perfect.
I got a curveball, yeah? Alright, so curveball. Lewis Hamilton around Christmas switched on, I don't even know if you call it switched on, but made remarks
about
towards his nephew.
Yeah.
About girls don't wear dresses.
About boys don't wear dresses, blah, 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 blah. And has been, as far as, like, for every time I've seen him, he's been, what's the word? Apologizing ever since. Yeah, man, he's on social media taking his I nearly said niece, what's wrong with me, his nephew to Disneyland in the dress, blah blah blah, this, that.
He done that?
Yeah, he did that.
He's
going all out.
He's a nerd.
You got things that have been happening. You got things that have been happening. A load of people's have had their tweets unearthed, this, that, and the other. All these people ain't got nothing on Kanye West when it comes to stature. Like, well, actually, maybe Lewis Hamilton in his world might be level with Kanye. But my point is, these people are role models. So when you're a role model, like, for example, you don't necessarily go on TV and get passionate. Like, Donald Trump's probably the first president that will probably be allowed to do that. Like, usually when you're a president, you've had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 man and a dog, cat and cousin go through what you're about to say on your public address.
Yeah.
So my point is this, like, why is Kanye out here spouting his mouth like that?
He always has. From when he said George Bush don't care about black people.
That's him.
On live news in front of the whole entire world.
Yeah, but right now Kanye don't care about black people.
But why do you say that?
Come on
he
now.
Does.
Come on now.
This is what I'm saying.
Come on now, fam.
Yes,
fam. I'm from.
I can see the passions coming out.
We're all from London. We're all from London. Yeah. We're all from London. I'm gonna say something to like, just to prove a point. So nobody in here don't get offended. Yeah. But if I walk into the room and just shout SYM, I know what's coming back. The moment that leaves my mouth, I know what's. So, what was that hat about? What's he doing there? And
The hat, I can't explain.
like,
But hold on, he explained it to me. He explained it to me.
No.
But listen,
he spun it. He never explained nothing.
But this is what I'm saying. Do you know what I don't understand?
Go.
Bro, like in the real world, people are dying. Kids are in Chicago. Chicago is like around half the size of London. 650 people were killed last year in Chicago. Obama didn't help Chicago. That's why Kanye West is vexed. That's why Kanye West doesn't like Obama, because it's like I'm from Tottenham.
But did you watch the Charlemagne interview?
Yeah, I watched the whole
Because I think he's more upset with Obama because he called him a jackass.
Yeah, that as well.
Like, this is the most narcissistic guy we've ever seen.
You know, you might be right. You might be right still.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Yeah, so do you get what I'm saying? Like, my personal feeling, like, see me, I look for conspiracy in everything.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this, Kris Jenner's involved in this whole thing.
Oh my
For me,
gosh.
she's in this. Have you noticed? He said, I can't be managed. Nobody can't manage me. But I bet you she's feeding something in your ear. That's just me.
See, you man are missing it, fam. Kanye's just... Even when you look at his mannerisms in a video, you're looking at a guy that's just saying exactly what's on his mind. And let's be honest, if all of us in the room said exactly what was on our mind, we would offend a lot of people. But Kanye West is a guy where he just does it. And obviously he's going to get backlash, but he's like, do you know what? I'm prepared for the backlash, and it doesn't matter because I'm leading with love and I'll give you a hug. And if I'm still calling that guy crazy, I'm like, maybe I'm the crazy one.
So if I walk into a room, shout out SYM and then say, okay, come here, give me a hug, it's cool.
No, do you know why? Because that's not leading with love. How can you turn SYM into something positive?
Yeah, but how can you turn slavery being a choice?
Because he's telling man, 400 years, you still enslaved in your mind. Wake the fuck up. That's
at
what
this
he's
moment in
saying.
time, I'm not necessarily arguing. I'm just posing the question.
And you're being devil's advocate. So I'm just trying to hit you back quickly.
Okay, you're trying to counter punch, yeah? On some hey belly stuff, yeah. Okay, I see. But anyway, carry on.
Let's talk about that later.
I just feel like he's trying to show, man, think for yourselves. Stop, because at the end of the day, we know it's clickbait. We've understood that it's clickbait, but with black people, especially, slavery, once you mention it, everyone goes mad. And we understand why, bro, but I feel like if you keep on looking backwards and you try and move forward, you're going to trip over and over again, cuz.
What do you think, anyway? Because what are you saying?
I switched off from a long time because he's got an album out. You know, I'm like, why now? Why not last year?
But he was going through. He went through a breakdown.
Yeah, because he knew I'm too much food.
See what I'm saying?
And he blames the food. I'm not having a go at Kanye. It's just a thing of like,
timing is just a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all. If the timing wasn't mad, I will be completely not say 2 words. Like, you know what I'm saying? What?
I've got the clap back now. Yeah. You need to understand, Kanye is a renaissance man. He's an art man. So what he goes through is that's what provides his like outbursts of art. So when he's come out of this is just my opinion, by the way.
Yeah.
When he's come out of his breakdown or whatever, he's come out and now he's doing a whole way too much. And I feel like, you see, even him at TMZ, this is all part of the album rollout. When we look back in 10 years, like, yo, this is going to be promo. That speech is going to be mad. All of it's going to be mad. It's all going to be part of the album.
This is why I think it's a Chris Jenner thing, because this is some mastermind rollout.
It is a mastermind rollout.
Well, no, he's basically the month of June is Kanye month, basically.
Yeah, even though the day. That shows that we all sucked into this.
Yeah, of course. But I'm not. Do you know what? For Life of Pablo, I love that album, so I'm hoping something.
Do you know what? Let me tell you how sick he done this rollout thing. Yeah. You see, when he recorded that interview with Charlemagne, he got spotted on the day with TMZ spotted them going in the car. That night there is when he started posting all the mad things, like the hat, the tweets, all of that. So
you're seeing the mastermind, didn't you?
So now you know what he's done. He's got the world to lock in. Now you know what? This happened. This happened 2-3 weeks ago. Most social media trending topics only last now 2-3 days. My man's been lasting a couple weeks now.
We're still talking
and we're still talking about Kanye. He knows what.
Right. Was you gonna say something?
We all got sucked in. 2 pictures.
What's it?
Do you know, is even the Kanye thing aside, I think it all just stems down to the basic thing of people are too openly opinionated on topics that they genuinely don't know anything about. I feel like there needs to be a lot more of a mind your business in this world. And I feel like the problem is that nobody's willing to step up and say, mind your business. No, what person of a public figure or anything has stepped up and said, mind your business? Like, even with the Lewis Hamilton thing, yeah, his opinion was that his son, or his nephew or whatever, he didn't want him wearing a dress because that's just not what he believed. So if his mum and dad and the generation they've come from has raised him to those ways of belief, are you trying to say that his mum and that whole generation is wrong? No, because then you're being too sensitive about a topic and blah blah blah. So you know what? How about you just skip all that and just mind your fucking business? It's simple. A lot of people, they talk, but you know what? Yeah, you can have an opinion, but you don't have to make it public. He didn't say, "Ooh, boys cannot wear dresses." He just said, "I'd prefer my nephew not to."
Facts.
I prefer my son not to wear
So
this.
everyone's got their opinions, but some people.
Yeah.
If-
Come out, Tommy Russell, you in the dress.
Yeah, but the thing is this. The thing is this. I want to say this. Yeah.
This ain't no
I don't
Lawrence,
like.
you know?
First, let me just because we're running out of time. Like this is we're running out of time. We're into the last 5 minutes, right? So let me say this quickly. Personally, I love Kanye West music. I've always loved Kanye West music, but I've always known that Kanye is a few sandwiches short of a full picnic. I've known this, yeah? And the reason why I'll show you that, yeah, is because for a man to jump up all them years ago and say George Bush, rare, tete, don't care about black people, yeah? You know how much money came out the bank at the end of that sentence? Like, you got to think, like, let's be real. We're all here to look after our families at the end of the day. No matter how much we love music, we're all here to look after families at the end of the day. And at the end of that sentence, money's coming out. You're losing money somewhere. You can't say that. It's just not happening. So that's what I'm saying. So as much as you're passionate about it, how much did that change, that you doing that, how much did it change? Didn't really change much. It just made you the victim. You can go again with the Taylor Swift, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily change. So I just think that, I'm losing my trail of thought because I was going to say something else.
You know what he said with the Taylor Swift? He lost a lot of like.
Yeah. He nearly committed suicide over the Taylor Swift thing. So what I'm saying is this. Personally, I've known about Kanye West. I know I kind of get a vibe for what he's on. I feel like he is leading with love, but he's also leading with love with him at the front of whatever's going on. Like the narcissistic kind of thing, yeah. And I just feel like he needs to take his medication and sit down because he's not well.
No, I don't agree.
No, he's not. I'm telling you now that if he was all the ticket, he would not have let a remark like that slip. Like, I honestly believe that if there are families out there now who were slave masters, they will tell you now it was not a choice. That remark makes no sense.
I get what you're saying, but as I said, the 400 years in that, it makes no sense.
That comes after. That comes after he said it.
No, you said 400 years. That sounds like a choice to me. That's what you said.
Right,
and
cool.
so that whole thing doesn't make sense.
What I'm saying is this year, whether he feeds a disclaimer or not, like the actual sentence, like you even said it was only two. Like, it don't make sense. So what I'm saying is, you're forcing yourself out there now, obviously through your album, but I don't feel like you're all the way ready, because if you're like, at the end of the day, like, how can I explain it? If you make a project like a CD, and you spend all your time recording it, you spend all your time like doing like photo shoots, getting all the marketing things together. You don't just run outside into the street with the project in your hand.
That's Kanye's thing. Now, what you've just said is Kanye's thing.
But that's foolishness.
No,
fam.
it's not. And that's what he's saying. He's saying that's not foolishness. He's saying he doesn't like these rules and these constraints. But at the end of the day, he's saying just do what you want.
But what I'm saying is this, the backlash that he's getting, the fact that we're here talking about it now, is all proof that when you are a
star,
quote unquote star, role model, call it what you want to call it, you are culpable for or responsible for everything that comes out.
Man needs to stop caring. Man needs to stop caring. Everyone needs to stop caring.
All I'm saying is this backlash is gonna make his Spotify stream.
Oh mad!
And let me say something. I think he's so smart. Yeah, he knows how to play us like gal,
bro.
And you know what? As well,
we are chatty patty.
And you know what the wicked thing? You showed me this. Ye versus the people. That's when I realized this guy's a smart madman. From that I went, no, he played us.
He's a genius.
You showed me that tune, him and T.I. How dare you do that? That's it.
He's a genius.
He knows his
and we don't get it yet. But in 5-6 years, we're gonna call him crazy again, and we're gonna say this last album was cold, and we're gonna forget that we called him out a crazy today. We call him crazy every 6 years.
Do you know what I called him? He saw Tekashi 6ix9ine and said, "I'm gonna do better."
That's what I was about to say. No, that's where I was going. There's not much difference. There's not much difference between what he's done and what Tekashi 6ix9ine has done, but just Tekashi 6ix9ine has got his reach, and Kanye's reach is something different.
And do you know who's changed? The artists haven't changed, because when Eminem was talking about what he was talking about, he's talking about having sex with his mum and all that fuckery. We've changed.
Eminem said what?
Eminem back in the day. He's the same Eminem used to talk about the worst. And no one, and you get what I'm saying? And back in the day, no one cared, we enjoyed it. Now we are getting sensitive. So now when certain artists say things, we're outraged and like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's just equalised, by the way. 1-1.
But we've got more sensitive.
You got it as well? Oh, come on. Oh yeah, respect. Fall back by that. We're touching in the last 2 minutes. Go on.
Like, no, what I want to say, we got to get you man on air. What properly?
Yeah,
bro. Them man should be on the station,
bro.
That's the boss man, by the way.
Man.
But yeah.
So you see my face now? You look high.
But like, we're gonna wrap it up. Like, big up Yizzy inside. Let them know what I'll go on for the EP.
Yeah, Yizzy SOS EP out now. _Yizzy, official Yizzy, all social medias.
And the video, where's the video up on?
The video's up on my Vivo channel. Come on.
Alright, what's the Vivo channel? We don't know what the video is.
Yizzy Vivo, building a platform out here.
How'd you spell it?
YIZZY.
Alright then.
SOS. 2 tune produced by Terror.
Come on. Big up Smokes, love what you man doing DMD podcast. We got Skribz. You know, we've got to have you regular on the show, man.
Bro.
You might be bringing me in. You be bringing me in. I'm coming.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
This is our first show, and it's been a mad show. Ill, what you're saying?
Listen, at DJ Illness UK, everybody, if you got a question, hashtag the scope, that's our thing. Just hit us up. Thank you guys for coming down. It's always nothing but love.
Two legends. Listen, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
You lot are legends.
Keep it pyro.